Hello everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this video, we will see the issue of Anti-NEET bill and why Tamil Nadu government is against the bill and also the issues related to governance. Let's begin. What is the context in which we are discussing this issue? Tamil Nadu recently passed Anti-NEET bill and now the governor has to give the assent. Governor has to give the assent. Okay. In the coming slides, we will talk about why is it a compulsion on the governor to give the assent to the anti-NEET bill now. Okay, it was passed 7th February, day before yesterday, it was passed, and why the governor cannot enjoy the discretionary powers that are granted to him in this context. Okay, keep thinking, we will discuss this issue. And such a bill was recommended by a committee called A.K. Rajan Committee. Okay, this becomes a very important term when it comes to the prelims 2022 examination, because the anti-NEET bill is in news. A.K. Rajan Committee, which recommended such a bill, becomes important. A.K. Rajan Committee recommended such a law, and also the committee said that such a law will protect the social justice and also federalism. Okay, and such an anti-NEET law will protect social justice, that is accessibility to education, and also protects Article 14, that is right to equality, and also federalism. The issue of federalism is protected by such a anti-NEET bill. This was said by A.K. Rajan Committee. Why? Let's see why such a harsh recommendation was given by A.K. Rajan Committee and why the Tamil Nadu government is going for anti-NEET bill. It is because such a bill, anti-NEET bill, will exempt the government seats in UG medical and dental colleges from NEET. Before 2016 or 17, every state had its own eligibility test after the 12th standard. So in 2017, NEET was introduced, National Eligibility and Entrance Test was introduced in order to normalize the process, and this became a national level entrance examination which was mandatory for any medical admissions. When was it started? Okay, it was before the NEET was started. We had an exam called AIPMT, All India Pre-Medical Test, which stood for All India Pre-Medical Tests, and this examination was a national level examination in order to get admission to nationally recognized medical institutions. Recognized medical institutions like AIMS, we have something called AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences. In order to get admission to these prestigious institutions, AIPMT was the examination. Similarly, we have JEE, Joint Entrance Examination, in order to get into IIT. Similarly, on the same lines, we had AIPMT. But what happened in 2017? NEET was introduced, and this became a single exam for every medical field entrance in the country. Okay, and after the establishment of or after NEET examination, states lost their power to conduct the entrance examinations. I want you to remember, when states lost their power to conduct entrance examinations, this is why A.K. Rajan Committee says the anti-NEET bill promotes federalism. This was said by A.K. Rajan Committee, and this is the reason why A.K. Rajan Committee came to the conclusion. So now the NEET is mandatory in order to get admission to MBBS, dental, and also Ayush courses. And what is the process? How is the entrance examination, that is NEET, conducted? And it is conducted through National Testing Agency, NTA, and the results are shared to Directorate General of Health Services. Directorate General of Health Services is a department under Ministry of Health, and remember Ministry of Education, which was formerly called as HRD, has no role to play in the entire process. Okay, this is, you have to keep this in mind in your prelims examination. Such kind of confusing questions might be asked. Okay, when dealing about the NEET, you might be inclined to mark Ministry of Education as the correct answer, but the Directorate General of Health Services, which works under the Ministry of Health, gets the results of National Testing Agency, and these results are shared among the states. This is how the entire process is carried out. I want you to know that this entire process is free from any type of corruption, and malpractice. Okay, and malpractice. What used to happen before was there was favoritism when it comes to the states conducting the medical examinations, because of which there was a huge corruption and favoritism among the medical seats. Now after NEET, everything is closed down. And what is the controversy about? Why is Tamil Nadu government not obliging NEET exam? Rajan Committee said that the powers of state to conduct examinations to medical entrances. So it is the power of state, because health is a state subject. Health is a state subject. Under Schedule 7 of the Constitution, we have union list, state list, and concurrent list. Among these, public health comes under the state list, and that is the reason why it becomes the powers, state government has the powers in order to conduct such examinations to medical field. This is the argument by Tamil Nadu government. And it also said that due to the toughness of the examination and also huge competition, there is an urban bias in admissions. For example, the rural students who studies in the vernacular languages will not be equipped in order to take NEET examination and get an entrance to medicine. That is the second argument given by the state government, and these two are the controversies revolving the NEET. Let's see, why did it start and why only in Tamil Nadu? In 2017, a student of class 12th called Anita committed suicide. Why did she commit suicide? She committed suicide because she couldn't get entrance to medicine through NEET. Okay, it is important to remember here, she was the state topper of 2017 batch, and she almost scored 97% in her board examination, but managed to get somewhere around 96 marks, 90 to 96 marks out of 725 when it comes to NEET exam. Okay, and she was the first ranker. She was and she was a state topper in the year 2017, but still she managed to get very less marks in NEET, because of which she couldn't get an entrance seat in the 2017 NEET examination. This is the reason why she committed suicide in the year 2017, and all the controversies regarding the NEET started from then. Rural students are being isolated from medical field. We have discussed this already. Lack of government doctors. Tamil Nadu government is saying what's happening is, because of the urban bias, the upper middle class and upper class students get admission to NEET, and they are not passionate about serving people in rural areas, because of which there is a lack of government doctors in Tamil Nadu. This is also one of the argument given by the state government. And also public health is a state subject, because of which state government should have the power to conduct examinations and also ensure no loopholes in the administration and the entrance examination process. What is the issue of governance here? Tamil Nadu State Assembly has passed the bill and now it is in the governor's court. Remember, we had a question, why is it a compulsion on the part of governor in order to give his assent to the bill? Why can't he use his discretionary powers? It is because, we'll explain here. First time such an anti-NEET bill was passed in the year 2021 September. It was passed in the year 2021 September, and governor sent to the reconsideration of Legislative Assembly of the Tamil Nadu. Remember this, governor used his discretionary powers to send the bill back to the assembly. When he sends bill back to the assembly, now it has been passed again for the second time. It has been passed again for the second time, and because it has been passed for the second time, it becomes a compulsion on the governor to give assent to the bill. He cannot withdraw his assent, withhold his assent, or he cannot send the bill back to the house. This is the reason why it's a compulsion on the governor to give his assent. If governor would have requested or reserved the bill for the assent of president in the first time, such a controversy wouldn't have been arised. Okay, such a controversy wouldn't have been there now. Now, what is Article 200? Okay, in the issue of governance, we also need to know the provisions of Article 200. Article 200 deals with the powers of governor when it comes to giving signature to the bill. Article 200 says that when a bill is presented to the governor, either governor can withhold his assent. Withhold ka matlab, he can say that I will not sign the bill. Okay, he can withhold his assent, he can give his assent, he can give his approval to the assent, or he can send it back. He can send it back to the reconsideration of the house. And the fourth and the last option is he can reserve it. He can reserve it for the consideration of president. He can reserve it for the consideration of president. These are the four options available to the governor when a bill is presented to him under Article 200. Okay, this becomes very important. You need to know these four provisions, and there are high chances that these kind of questions will be asked in your prelims examination. And also, Sarkaria Commission says that, Sarkaria Commission recommendation said that governor has to obey the recommendations given by Council of Ministers and Chief Minister. Governor has to abide by the recommendations given by Council of Ministers and Chief Minister. So in this context, you will know why it becomes a compulsion on the part of governor to give the assent to anti-NEET bill in Tamil Nadu. Now let's see what has Supreme Court. What is the role of Supreme Court in this issue? On Feb 7th, Supreme Court issued a notice to Tamil Nadu government and has adjourned the hearing to 25th February. So on 25th February, the hearing on the controversy revolving anti-NEET bill will be taken up by the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court will provide its judgment, or it will start the hearing. As and when there are any updates regarding the anti-NEET bill and the controversy revolving in Tamil Nadu, we will update you on this. So subscribe to the channel for more such quality content. What is the way ahead? What is the way ahead? What can be done now? First thing is, Tamil Nadu government is not wrong when it says that the rural students are being isolated from NEET examination. It is not wrong, it is a fact. It is a fact. Why is it a fact? Because of the lack of quality, because of the lack of quality of education in rural areas, and also the lack of penetration of coaching institutes, which are commercial institutes who provide guidance for such competitive examinations. As an exception to the quality in government schools, in Delhi recently in the year 2020, 496 students of a single school got admission to NEET examination. 496 students from Delhi government schools got admission to NEET examination, and 51 students were from the same school. See, this is a classic example that you can use either in your GS2 or your essay in order to prove if there is a state intervention in the field of education, this is how it should be. This is how the social justice should be ensured to students. Second one, there's a complete exception will bound to create ripple effects. That means if such an anti-NEET bill is given provision by the Supreme Court or the central government, this becomes an example to many other states like Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, in which the literacy rate is low. All these states will start demanding the exception from NEET, and this will set a wrong example. So it creates a ripple effect. And the next one is, what should the government do? Government, instead of going for anti-NEET bill, government can use its resources in order to enhance the quality of education in government schools, so that the students from government schools will be equipped to take these competitive examinations and crack this and have a level playing field between the urban and the rural areas. This is what the government is supposed to do in order to ensure the social justice. As usual, at the end, we will see a question. Explain the provisions of Article 200 of the Indian Constitution. Explain the significance of discretionary powers of governor in this regard. As I always tell you, first split the question into two parts. The first part demands the provisions of Article 200. We have discussed 4 provisions of Article 200 in which governor can provide assent to the bill, he can withhold his assent to the bill, he can reserve the bill for the consideration of the president, and also he can return the bill to the house. These are the 4 provisions of Article 200. Second part, explain the significance of discretionary powers. In order to start answer, you need to know the article number which deals with the discretionary powers of governor. Article 163 deals with the discretionary powers of governor. So explain Article 163 and the significance of Article 163. There are 2 types of discretionary powers when it comes to the governor. First is the constitutional discretionary power and also the situational discretionary power. Explain constitutional and explain the situational discretionary powers, and that way you will be able to do justice to this particular question. And out of 10 marks, if you have written all these points, you can expect somewhere around 5.5 to 6. Okay, this is how you do value addition to the mains questions. By this, we will end the video. For more such quality content, please subscribe to Legacy IAS Academy and have a nice day. Thank you.